If you don't get up and grind, you'll be waiting forever. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for the right moment. Waiting for life to get easier. But let me tell you something, my friend. Success doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't knock twice. And life doesn't reward those who sit still. It rewards the movers, the doers, the ones who get up and grind even when they don't feel like it. Now, let me ask you a question. When the alarm goes off in the morning, what do? Do you rise with purpose? Or do you roll over in defeat? That, right there, that moment, that tiny decision, that's where success begins. Or ends. Success is not something you pursue once in a while. It's something you practice every single day, even when you're tired, even when no one is watching, even when it's not glamorous. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. And how do you get better? You get up and grind. Most people live their lives waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect time, waiting until they feel like it. But I'll tell you this, the grind doesn't wait for your feelings. The grind doesn't ask, how do you feel today? It just asks, did you show up? Now, the grind isn't about being busy. It's not about hustle for hustle's sake. It's about doing the work that matters. The hard work, the boring work, the consistent work, the kind of work that, over time, separates the average from the exceptional. You see, I've met people with incredible potential, but potential is only possibility. It's discipline that turns possibility into reality. You can have the best ideas, the biggest dreams, the clearest vision, but without daily action, without the grind, it means nothing. Nothing changes until you do. And here's the best part. You don't have to feel ready. You don't have to feel confident. You don't even have to feel motivated. You just have to move. Because once you start, momentum kicks in. And that's when the magic happens. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. It's not once in a while. Not when you're in the mood. Every day. That's the grind. That's the path. And no, it won't always be fun. It won't always be exciting, but it will always be worth it. You're not grinding for today. You're grinding for who you become. You're grinding for that future version of you. The one who looks back and says, thank you for not giving up. Thank you for showing up. So let me ask you again. When the alarm rings tomorrow, what will you do? Will you hit snooze on your goals? Or will you rise and grind like your future depends on it? Because friend, it does. It isn't just inspiration. It's a challenge to rise, to push, to build. Because your dream, it doesn't respond to excuses. It only responds to effort. The same wind blows on us all. It's not the blowing of the wind that determines your destination. It's the set of the sail. And every time you grind, you're adjusting that sail. You're choosing direction. You're deciding your future. So, are you ready? Not to feel good, not to wait around, but to get up and grind. Let's begin with something simple, but powerful. Life doesn't wait, and neither does success. You might want it to slow down. You might think you can hit pause. But let me tell you, the clock doesn't stop. Not for you. Not for me. Not for anyone. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it to wake you up, because far too many people are asleep. With their eyes wide open, they move through life like they've got all the time in the world, like tomorrow is guaranteed. But here's what I learned, and what I want to pass on to you. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. It never will be. If you wait for the ideal conditions, if you wait to feel ready, if you wait for motivation to magically appear, you'll be waiting forever. You see, we all have 24 hours in a day. That's the great equalizer. Rich or poor, talented or not, dreamers or doers, we all get the same clock. But it's not what you're given. It's what you do with what you're given. And the ones who win, they wake up, they get up, and they grind. Now listen closely. It's not that they don't feel tired. It's not that they don't feel fear. It's not that everything goes their way. They just made a choice, a decision to act regardless of how they feel. That's where success begins. That's where change starts. When I was young, I thought success would just come. That if I was patient, it would knock on my door. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. You don't wait for it. You don't chase it. You become it. And how do you become it? You start the day before the world demands it. You show up before you feel like it. You take action when it's uncomfortable. Because here's the truth. There is no secret. There is no shortcut. The great ones, the ones we admire, they simply chose to get up and grind. They woke up to reality, to the fact that time is passing, opportunities are fading, and excuses are growing, but they refuse to let another day slip by without action. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you woke up early on purpose? Not because you had to, not because you were forced, but because your dream was calling, because your future self was waiting, because you finally decided that enough was enough. That's what I mean when I say, wake up. It's not just about getting out of bed. It's about snapping out of distraction. It's about shaking off delay. It's about refusing to sleepwalk through your own life. You've got something inside you, potential, power, purpose, but none of that matters if you don't show up for it. So, what are you waiting for? The right mood? The right season? The right people? Let me give you a little reality check. The right time is now. The right person is you. And the right move is to get up and grind. Start before you're ready. Start before you're confident. Start before the plan is perfect. Because life is not waiting for you to feel like it. It's waiting for you to move. Every day you delay is a day you don't get back. Every morning you snooze is a morning you lose. And every excuse you make is one step farther from the life you deserve. You want the good life? You want freedom, fulfillment, impact? Then wake up, open your eyes, set your feet down, and take the first step before the world starts spinning. Because once you learn to show up for your life, that's when life starts to show up for you. So let this be the day you stop waiting. Let this be the moment you wake up to reality and decide you're not waiting anymore. You're getting up and you're grinding. Let me ask you something. Have you ever waited around for motivation to strike? You know that feeling, that lightning bolt, that spark. You sit there hoping, wishing it would show up. That one magical moment where it all clicks and suddenly you feel unstoppable. But here's the truth. Motivation doesn't come first. Movement does. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. What most people don't understand is that the fire doesn't light itself. You've got to build it every single day. And how do you build that fire? With movement, with momentum, with action. It's like this. You don't feel like going to the gym, but once you put your shoes on, you take a few steps. You start moving your body. Suddenly the energy kicks in. You didn't wait for it. You created it. That's how it works with everything in life. Success, discipline, purpose. You won't feel like working on your dream every day. But if you start, if you just begin, even small, even imperfect, that movement creates motivation. People ask me all the time, Jim, how do I get motivated? And I tell them, you don't get motivated. You get moving. Motivation doesn't lead to action. Action leads to motivation. Let's go deeper. Motivation is not a mood. It's a result. It's the byproduct of doing what matters, especially when you don't feel like it. Because here's something you need to understand. If you wait to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. And guess what? Time doesn't care about your feelings. The people who win, the ones who rise above, they're not necessarily more talented. They're just more consistent. They've learned how to light their own fire, and they do it daily. So how do you do that? Let me give you a few simple principles. 1, start the day with purpose. Before the noise of the world hits, set your intentions. Don't check your phone. Don't scroll. Decide who you're going to be today. Even 5 minutes of quiet reflection a journal entry, a goal review. That's you striking the match. 2, move your body. Get the blood flowing. Walk, stretch, breathe. Motion triggers energy because a body in motion stays in motion, and energy breeds clarity. 3, do one hard thing first. The big task, the one you want to avoid. That's the log on the fire. You put that down early, and the flames of motivation will grow fast. Start small, sure, but start with strength. Now I'll tell you something else. If you skip the grind long enough, if you ignore the spark, the fire will die out, and you'll find yourself cold, discouraged, disconnected. Why? Because you stopped moving. And when movement stops, motivation fades. But here's the beautiful part. You can reignite it. You can build the fire again today. Right now, you don't need perfect conditions. You don't need more time. You just need to move. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And discipline starts with one small action. You want to be motivated? Then do what you said you would do, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. And your reward, that spark, that energy, that fire inside you burning again. You don't need more motivation to build the life you want. You just need to take one step, then another, and another. Because when the fire is built daily, you stop depending on willpower and you start depending on identity. You're no longer someone who tries. You're someone who does. So tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, don't wait. Don't think. Don't check how you feel. Just move. Strike the match. Feed the fire. And build your momentum. Because once you're moving, that's when motivation shows up. And when it does, you'll be ready for it. Let me start with a warning. Hard work alone is not enough. Yes, I said it, and I mean it. Now don't misunderstand me. You must work hard. You must grind. You must put in the time. But let me ask you a question. Are you grinding in the right direction? Are you working hard on the right things? Because I've seen it time and again. People who hustle from morning till night, running fast, moving constantly, busy every minute, but going nowhere. You can't make up for a lack of purpose with a double dose of hustle. Think about that. Grinding without direction is like rowing a boat in circles. You're tired. You're sweaty. You're drained. But you're still in the same spot. You see, it's not just about effort. It's about effective effort. And that requires intention, clarity, alignment. You've got to know why you're grinding, what you're grinding toward, and if that grind is actually building the life you want. Let me ask you, are you building a career that excites you? Or are you just surviving the week? Are you working on your goals? Or are you stuck in someone else's plan? Because if you don't decide your direction, life will choose one for you. And you might not like where it leads. Here's a truth I've learned over the years. Busyness is not the same as progress. You can answer 100 emails and never touch your dream. You can be exhausted by 8 p.m. and still feel unfulfilled. Why? Because you were grinding, but not intentionally. Now listen, when you grind with intention, you do things on purpose, not out of habit, not out of pressure, but because you know where you're going. If the promise is clear, the price is easy. Meaning, when your purpose is strong, you'll find the strength to do the work. And more importantly, you'll know which work matters most. Let's talk practical. Here are a few ways to grind with intention. 1, define your goal clearly. Not someday, not eventually, not, I want to be successful. Define it. What does success look like to you? Write it down. Feel it. See it. Own it. 2, prioritize your efforts. Don't major in minor things. Too many people spend their day on tasks that don't move the needle, checking boxes that don't matter, answering everyone else's needs, while ignoring their own dreams. Be honest with yourself. Is what you're doing daily bringing you closer or keeping you busy? 3, protect your time. When you grind with intention, you become ruthless with your hours. You stop giving time to things that drain you. You start investing in what builds you. That's how you grow. That's how you win. Let me tell you what intentional grinding feels like. You go to bed tired, yes, but fulfilled. You wake up with purpose, not panic. You feel stretched, but focused. Because now, you're not just grinding to survive. You're grinding to build. And that changes everything. See, life is short. Time is precious. You don't get to do this twice. So if you're going to grind, and you should grind with direction, grind with vision, grind with heart. Every day, ask yourself, is this task getting me closer to the life I want? If the answer is no, rethink it, reshape it, or remove it. Because the goal is not to work yourself into exhaustion. The goal is to work yourself into alignment. Don't just work hard. Work smart. Work clear. Work with fire and focus. Because when you combine discipline with direction, you become unstoppable. So here's your challenge today. Look at your calendar. Look at your to-do list. Look at your routine and ask, is this the grind that builds the future I want? If not, adjust. Don't wait. Don't wander. Work wisely. Grind intentionally and win with purpose. Let me share something with you, friend. Your dreams are fragile. They need effort. They need discipline. They need consistency. And if you're not careful, if you're not intentional, laziness will steal them. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but sometimes what we need isn't comfort. It's clarity. We need to hear the truth, not the excuse. Because while we're scrolling, sleeping, drifting, our dreams are fading. Slowly, quietly. And here's the tragedy. Not because we didn't have the talent, not because we didn't have the opportunity, but because we didn't put in the work. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. And how do you bring value? You show up. You give your best. You put in the work, even when you don't feel like it. But laziness whispers. Take it easy. You've got time. You'll do it tomorrow. But I've learned something. Tomorrow is not a strategy. The road to failure is paved with laters and maybes, and I'll do it when I feel ready. Let me tell you what laziness really is. It's not always lying on the couch or sleeping in. Sometimes, laziness looks like busyness, doing everything except what actually matters. Checking your phone, checking your messages, rechecking your notifications, but not checking your goals. That's still laziness disguised as activity. And it's dangerous because you feel like you're moving, but you're stuck. You want to kill a dream? Do nothing about it. Wait. Procrastinate. Let laziness become a habit. And that dream, gone. Not all at once, but piece by piece, until one day you look back and realize you slept on your potential. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. It's easy to read for 10 minutes. It's easy to write that plan. It's easy to make the call, start the project, take the step, but it's also easy not to. And that's where the battle is lost. Not in the big moments, but in the small daily decisions. You might be thinking, but I'm tired. I've tried before. I don't feel motivated. And I hear you. We all feel that way sometimes. But guess what? Laziness doesn't care how gifted you are. It doesn't care how good your heart is. It doesn't care how big your vision is. If you don't move, if you don't act, if you don't grind, it wins. You want your dream back? Then get your discipline back. Because the only cure for laziness is action. Consistent, committed action. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if it's slow. Start. Move. Do something. Anything. Success doesn't visit lazy people. It visits the diligent, the disciplined, the doers. So here's the truth. If you don't fight for your dream, no one else will. There are no dream police. There is no alarm that goes off when your goals are dying. You've got to be the one to protect it, to show up, to work, to grind. You don't need more time. You need more urgency because time is already slipping. The question is, are you slipping with it or are you using it? Tomorrow's success is shaped by today's effort. And laziness? It doesn't just waste time. It wastes purpose. It wastes who you could have become. It wastes what you could have created. It wastes the difference you could have made. If you're tired, rest. But don't quit. If you're unsure, slow down. But don't stop. Because laziness, it only wins when you give it permission. And your dream, it only dies when you stop fighting for it. Let today be the day. You stop choosing what's easy and start choosing what's necessary. The grind isn't about pain. It's about purpose. And when you live on purpose, you leave no room for laziness. Get up, get moving, and protect your dream because it's worth it. And so are you. Let me ask you a question. What kind of life do you really want? Not the one you tolerate, not the one you were handed, but the life you desire, the one that lights a fire in your belly when no one's watching. You see, greatness is not something you stumble into. You don't wake up one day and find it under your pillow. You earn it. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. That means today, this very moment, you can choose a new path. But once you